Hey guys, so today we're looking through my 2020 bullet journals. So crazy to think that this weird year, the fastest and slowest of its kind, is coming to an end, and it's sort of a walk down memory lane and just take a look at what my planners look like. This is my second full year bullet journaling and my first full year documenting that journey on YouTube. Last year, I just did like a super quick full-on flip through, and that was my first video upload. And this whole YouTube experience since has just been so much fun, and I've connected and met with so many lovely people through doing this, and I'm just really thankful that people even care to watch and engage. But yeah, I'm gonna quit blabbing about it, and we're just gonna get right into it. So we're just gonna hop right on in with my first journal of the year. It's a Nuuna journal, and I did a whole video on what I think of this journal and the specifics, and I'll leave that up in the cards if you're interested to know a little bit more about it. So I have my key over on the left and then my incomplete index on the right. I actually gave up on my index around August, and I just found it a little cumbersome to keep up with, especially since I keep tabs on my journal for quick reference. There is just no point. This is my future log, and I ended up writing all the themes under the month here. Well, this page is just sad, but I do like how this turned out, and it was fun to put together. I have my 2019 Spotify top songs on the left, and man, this cover page on the right, if I only knew the foreshadowing of this. This graphic was a magazine cutout. I thought it was cool and edgy, and I just worked it into a collage for the cover page. Then we come to January, which is this winter light string theme. I still really like this offset bulb look, and the color scheme I really like. It was really relaxing, very wintry. Yes. So I think here I started to go a little nuts with the Dutch doors because I wasn't sure if I liked this journal too much at this point. The dot grid spacing is just so tight. There was quite a bit of ghosting, so I was like low-key trying to exhaust as many pages as I could, but it did leave a lot of room for planning and for extra notes, which I did like a lot. So February's theme was pinwheels and Polaroids, and although the individual elements are cute, there's just a lot going on here. It's just super chaotic and a little bit distracting, so yeah. And as you can see, I was gone for most of the month, and of course not knowing what was to come, it was really like the last hoorah of normalcy this year, so. Oh yeah, these little weekly movie logs were a lot of fun. I was rating movies and TV shows and then putting some thoughts down on the bottom there. Whoa now, will you look at that contrast? So yeah, with the craziness, that was February. March was a peaceful, somewhat minimal Japanese theme. I really enjoyed the lettering on this one and that muted color, and yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Here I started working the movie and TV log into the daily blocks, which I still quite like. I actually really love these weeklies. April is where I started really trying to work with the limitations of the journal and did some printouts for the city skylines theme, but still did some lettering on top of the printouts to kind of join that all in together. I think this little loading screen and the title screen cover page is pretty clever. Yep, still don't like this. It's just too much. It's too chaotic. These are show notes for a dance performance that ended up getting canceled, so sad. And then this was pretty early in quarantine, and we went on a huge cleaning spree, as I'm sure everybody did at this point, and this was just a tracker for that. Here I was celebrating 1 year of the curly girl method and just drew in some of my favorite products and tools. I really love this spread, and I think it would be pretty cool to do an entire theme of like curly girl things. So with these couple of like collage pages, I'm basically covering up some meeting notes and random scribblings that I don't really need. So yeah, I really just didn't care for these weekly spreads, but it is what it is. For May, I made my dog Zora and her favorite toys and treats into my theme, and I think this theme is just super adorable. I love the weeklies and drawing out the little scenes with her toys and her sleeping and doing all the random things that she does, so still like this theme, really love the colors, still happy with it. So June's theme was typography, and I tried to go pretty minimal here with the cover page, but I'm just still loving this like subtle purplish gray color. So yeah, for every weekly, for this one, every week was a different style of type, and it was just a really fun one to play around with. So the July theme was quite a popular one. It was retro packaging, and I used inspiration from toys, food, just packaging from the 70s. Absolutely love this cover spread, and the colors here is really cheerful, really summery. And yeah, this is probably my favorite mood tracker for the year. Ooh, and this was, I think, the first weekly spread that I streamed on Twitch, so that's been really fun. I should start doing those again in January, the first, maybe second week in January, but I'll leave that info on how to find me there down in the description. But the theme for August was underwear for National Underwear Day, and I went back to a more muted and cohesive color palette this month since July was just a little everywhere. I played around with these metallic paints here, and I still really love this spread and this theme really. I also started playing around with making my own stickers this month, and it made setting up the weeklies way quicker and helped pull everything together, so I really love that. For September, I took on Mark Rothko as a theme. He's an abstract expressionist painter, and his birthday is in September. I actually had a lot of fun this month because I was in the mood to get all painterly, but I knew this journals paper couldn't really handle that, so I got a little creative with inserts and just using small paint strokes, and then of course stickers helped out a lot. So this is the spread that I internally decided to pull back a bit after this spread. Go back. No. This spread, it's fun, but it's a little busy, and I think somewhere mentally, if my weeklies are too busy, then I just feel a little more chaotic, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, here is where I decided to just start paying more attention and not trying to do the most on weekly spreads. Ooh, I actually really love this spread. This piece here was really fun to recreate, and it was just really out of my comfort zone. So yeah, love this. October's theme was super fun too. This one was a Crime Junkie podcast theme, and just, this cover page is just right on the money for me. I still love and listen to this podcast every week, but this was just fun thinking about how a podcast could become a bullet journal theme. So I took frequently used quotes from the show, the logo, and just things that revolve around true crime in general and just made it a thing. This What I'm Into spread. This was super fun to put together. These are just things that I felt passionately about during the month. So we have some games, some shows, Crime Junkie, of course, and even a drink I was vibing with. So This will be interesting further in the future, I think, to look back on. This is actually a little sign I made for the candy this year for Halloween. We did a little walk-up candy station. I thought it was cute and wanted to hang on to it, so I just stuck it in over some notes that I don't really need anymore. So in the back of this journal, I have a little spread about the Big Brothers All-Star season and my predictions I made when the season started. I never do well on these, but it's still fun to do. Of the maybe like 5 or 6 years I've been doing these little predictions, I've picked the winner once, I think. I also have my migration spreads back here, so I know what spreads I want to keep and which ones really aren't working for me. I did Adobe Max this year, which was like 3 whole days of design related online workshops, so I wrote down my schedule for that in here. These are just some random notes, doodles, and brainstorming things. And then in the very back, I doodle ideas for themes and mostly color palettes. I do have my dot grid spacing guide back here and just some cards and notes in the back. And that's pretty much it for this first journal. I almost got through the entire year in there, and that in itself, that's just crazy. But alas, I wasn't able to make it, so I migrated over to this journal. And I chose this one knowing from the first journal that I wanted thicker pages so I didn't have to be concerned with bleeding and ghosting. I originally planned to go over into B5 since I knew from 2019's journal that I liked the extra space. However, this one had 192 pages and I don't know, it just made more sense to me. So cracking this one open, I scanned the cover page for the last journal and just made it like a continuation of that vibe and just migrated over a few spreads that I would need more often so I didn't have to keep like pulling from the previous journal. Then we're into November and the Crazy Eyes theme, and this one was inspired by the Deftones album artwork for Alms. And absolutely loved this theme as well, and this cupcake color scheme, and the fact that there's no bleeding. There's no bleeding here. Now I thought I would try out this vertical weekly, and I found out that it's not for me, just way too squishy. Most of my tasks have to do with design for others, so I like to put the client name and whatever project I'm working on in there. So whether it's a menu or flyer or logo or whatever, I just didn't have that horizontal writing room. I like the look of that vertical, but it just is not functional for me. Then we're into December, which is this enchanted forest theme based off an illustration that I had been working on and off for a few years, and I finally finished it up this year. And this cover spread with the Dutch door, I just love it so much. And the printout for this one came out really well too, and I think mixing the complex illustration with simple doodles was a fun challenge to make this work as a cohesive theme. This countdown to Christmas page was really fun. I liked coming up with different ways to color in the little presents and hats, and it just looks so cute, almost all filled out. I love the larger stickers for the weeklies here. Definitely made these quick setups and helped keep the whole weekly thing more consistent across the board. These are my last few weeklies and they aren't filled in yet. I actually did both of them on a Twitch stream this past week, but I did want to show you guys how those turned out, and I thought it was just very nice to end it in the whole year on this sky illustration, just very breath of fresh air, very sunrise. And then I have my 2020 reflection and highlights for the year, so I just answered some prompts. And I'm not sure what's gonna go here, but I have my Spotify rap page and I quite like it. I actually printed out the song code, so if I feel like listening to any of my top songs, I can just scan them, which I thought was really clever to include. And yeah, it just goes right into 2021, so that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed looking at my 2020 themes and spreads, and hopefully they give you some inspiration and ideas for your own planning in months to come. The January 2021 Plan With Me is already up if you haven't seen it. I'll leave a playlist of all of these Plan With Me videos down in the description if you want to get a little more insight on any particular theme. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're up and onwards to 2021, and I'll catch you in the next one. Happy New Year. And if you like this video, here are a couple more I think you would enjoy.